Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and passionate advocates from sustainable living. Welcome to the second installment of Singapore Poly EEE webinar series. I am Tiong Kui and thrilled to have you all with us today for a transformative discussion on cultivating tomorrow with urban farming. I am delighted to introduce our speaker for today's sessions. Okay, we have Mr. Joshua Tan from Singapore Indoor Farming. He's an expert in the field of urban agriculture. And Mr. Joe Yang from Singapore Polytechnic. He's an expert in the field of IoTs. Okay, their wealth of knowledge and experience will undoubtedly provide us with the invaluable insights into the world of sustainable and efficient fruit productions with urban landscapes. In our pursuit of a greener and more sustainable future, it is crucial to align our efforts with visionary initiatives. Today, we will explore the 2030 Green Plan visions, a roadmap for environmental sustainability that sets the stage for a more resilient and eco-friendly world. As we navigate through the complexities of urbanizations, climate change and food security, understanding and embracing innovative solutions like urban farming become paramount. So let's embark on this journey together. Let's learn and envision how we can collectively contribute to cultivating a tomorrow that is not only abundant in harvest but also rich in sustainability. Before we proceed, okay, you have probably received the pre-reading materials for those of you who have already registered with us. Fear not, for those who did not receive this pre-read material, you can scan the QR code on the slide page here and key in your name and registered email so that we can send the pre and post-read materials to you after these webinar sessions. Okay, I will pause here for a few seconds for you to do the scanning. Okay, without further ado, I will invite Mr. Joshua to share their insights and expertise. Mr. Joshua, please.
Okay, thank you, Tiong Kui. Good evening, everybody. Yes, thank you SP for allowing me to share this evening. Yes, so well, tonight is not really a farming course to say, but this is actually to encourage people that actually farming is quite easy. If you take it like your normal gardening, it can be done. Well, don't always give the excuse of like, I don't have a green finger. No, so farming is as easy as like, you know, your normal gardening. Yes, so let me just go through slide by slide and then to share with you what are we doing. Yes. Okay, let me show you a video of a short introduction about my farm. Yes.
Hey, hi, I'm Joshua Tan. This is our farm, Singapore Indoor Farms, and we are in this racking business. So what we do is we sell all this racking for people to do vertical farming. So this racking, all here you can see we are planting all the Asian greens because we want to support the government vision of the 30 by 30.
Okay, so the 30 by 30 vision, the government, the master green plan, yeah, we talking about it. We try to achieve, and then so what we do is our business actually we do selling system, whether it's racking, indoor rack for farming, do it indoor. We call it like, you know, a plant factory. Yeah, so we using the controlled environment, so where the temperature is controlled, humidity is controlled, carbon dioxide is controlled, and then lightings. Yes, so with the LED lighting, you don't have to worry about there's not enough light. Like, you know, recently we have bad weather where there is, like, you know, very often you have raining day, especially morning is okay, then come to the afternoon where the rain start to come in, and then the so-called the plant is not enough light. So, well, if you are in the planting business, or well, you've been planting for a while, you know that actually for plants, especially you're talking about you want to plant vegetable, so they need at least 6 good hours of sunlight. So, well, if we do it in a controlled environment, in a plant factory, yeah, where we plant all these, you know, leafy vegetable on the rack itself, so, well, we use this LED light for the plants, so we don't have to really worry about the so-called the weather where there's stormy day or where there's raining day where there's no sunlight. Yes.
Hey, hi, I'm Joshua Tan.
Yep. Okay. So I will show you another short clip. Yeah.
Okay, Singapore indoor farms operate like a social enterprise. So we plant vegetables because we need to show people that these rats are able to produce. So what we plant, we give it to the community. It's just a few chefs that we know that we plant for them. So what they want, we plant for them. But most of the vegetables, we give it to the community. So that benefit everybody and they are happy.
Okay, like, you know, the previous short clip, yeah, we are in this system business. So we do planting system, like, you know, the rack for indoor, and we do outdoor also. So we cannot just tell people that we do this, but we don't have a really physical showroom to show people. So because of that, we have a showroom. We got a showroom about 1,001 square feet, and then we have 30 racks inside. So we plant and we really harvest all these vegetables and we give it to the community. So there is this program called the vegetable rescue program. So we supported this program in Boon Lay Drive in Ubi area. So if there's excess of vegetable, we will bring it down to the community fridge. So these vegetables are normally not put to waste. We need to plant to show people, and then after we harvest, we give it to the community. Yes. Okay, so Singapore Indoor Farms, yes, we sell the system, and then we also need to, if you use our system, we will conduct training class for you. Yes, we will have this course to make sure. Okay, so we do have a training room. Yeah, we have a showroom, we have a training room, and then this is the place where if you come down, you're able to feel, able to see how this system is being constructed, and then how the system is run. So there's no rocket science. If you come down, you're most welcome, and then we can always show you how this system works. Okay, so these are the few schools and institutions that, you know, we are working with. They use our this system. Yes. Okay. So, like, you know, the community gardens or religious institutions, they do use our system too. So, well, there's a place where they also use this system to plan, to really create activity for this you know, engagement for people to come together. Yes. Okay, so basic farming. So a lot of people fail to do this stage, and then the germination itself, if they didn't germinate properly, and then they cannot get the plant grow, and then they will find that, well, it's very tough, and then if they got no patience, I think farming need a lot of patience. I would say that you need to have that kind of like, loving for the green and then willing to wait. Well, if you find that you germinate once or twice, and then if your seed don't germinate, don't grow, after 1 or 2 times you just give up, and then you say that, well, I don't have a green finger, so sorry, I think it's not for me, yes. But of course there are people who say that, well, why bother to farm where vegetables are so cheap, right? Yes. So, well, I would say that the joy of farming, if you farm yourself, you plant what you want to plant, and then eventually the satisfaction of like harvesting all these crops, and then you enjoy it, that is very fulfilling. So, well, in the olden day, well, I no need to show any picture of olden day where seeds are so cheap, and then the farmer just take the seed and then just scatter around on the floor, and then eventually it come out, it's quite uneven. Some places where a group of seeds that all together, and then some places might be just a few of them. So if we plant them on the right side, right hand, you see the red plate where this is where we do the seed plug. Every seed plug we put 2 seed, and then we let it grow, and then eventually you see on the extreme left, you can see that when we push it out from a seed plug, you see the roots are all intact, inside the seed plug, and then we try to make sure that they are intact, and then we put it into a bigger pot. So when you plant properly, you make sure that the plant are at a good distance, like for example every 10 cm you put one plant, so the plant will grow healthily. Yes, but likewise, if you do this is for soil germination. If you do hydroponic germinations, you see the center picture where you see a lot of baby seedling, and then that's where you germinate, and then eventually you put onto your rack, or yes, you see on the top, on the bottom right, you can see this small little container where people can plant from home as hobbies, and then every time when you harvest, you can have one plate for yourself. So that's the joy, and that is the satisfaction of doing farming and gardening, yeah, at home, yeah. Okay, so, well, because of the 30 and 30, it was like the last few years government been giving away grants for people who are serious to come into the business, or even as hobby. You see office people start to having a planting rack in the lobby itself. So if a lobby, for example, during office hour, the lobby is always with the air conditioner is on, and then why put the waste? In the past, maybe people put aquarium, yeah, they put some ornamental fish, or they put some marine fish, yeah. So now people find that, well, why not I put a rack over there, a planting rack, and then, well, you can see this, the rack, the plant grow well, and then, wow, it's present to the side, and then it's like good for food, then why not? And then eventually you get your colleagues, the staff that come together, they harvest, they pack, then whoever that is like do together, they bring it home, assess, they give it, yeah, they open up to the other colleagues who are in the office or in the factory. So I think this is very encouraging. Yes. Okay, so in school and institutions, it's getting more and more popular. I think good things is that, for the schools that they want to support really the 30 by 30 plan. So, well, the teachers will normally, they have different way of selecting the students. There are teachers who call these are the champions. So every class they pick the top student, and then they let do the farming, or they have appointed, a club excuse me, a green club, they call it, or like in the past we called it gardening club. So they get this club member to come and do the farming activity, they do the germinations, or sometimes they find that, well, it's really not easy, it's a chore to do the germinations, they just want to spend more time on their schoolwork. So we do, well, supply the seedling and we sell the seedling to them. So they skip that and they find that, well, that would be so much easier. So you can see that, you know, all this, you see the picture, all the greens are very lush and they grow very well. So if, what I'm trying to say that, if all these students mainly are from secondary 1 and secondary 2 students, if they can plant all this, so I think anybody can just try it, and then easily you can achieve it. Normally for school, they will not touch the secondary 4 student because they have to prepare for their GC O level. Likewise for the Sec 3 student, they also don't really touch them. So mainly the farming are all, you know, so-called involvement are all by the secondary 1 and secondary 2. So, well, I want to encourage you is like, well, if the lower secondary school student can do it, I believe you can do it also. Yeah. Okay, so you can see these are the indoor rack. Okay, the racking that you see on the left side, yeah, is ITE College Central. So, well, they have many of these units, and then they got different faculty, different departments. So every department, they have a few of these racks. So you can see this one whole stretch, they got about a dozen of them. Yeah, so because this is the aerospace department, and they find that this walkway is a long walkway, and well, the aircon is on during office hour, Monday to Friday, and then what a waste. I mean, if the aircon is on and then, well, nobody enjoy it, just like once a while you got people passing by, so they put this whole row of the racking for the student to plant. And then every layer they have a student names, and then they make the so-called this student who volunteer and there's teacher that assigned to look after this project. So, well, everyone will have ownership, and then they feel good about it. After they harvest all these things, they give it to the underprivileged people. They give it to the old folks home, the seniors that is around the nearby school. Yeah, so this is ITE College Central. So I just took one of the picture, one of the faculty. There are many other faculties that every corner, you know, the so-called underutilized space, they will put 1 or 2 rack over there, and then it's really make the place look so much greener and nicer. So on the right is Singapore Institute of Technology. So this a place where outside their so-called school library. So, well, after you read, after you do your so-called study, there's a place outside corner for you to sit around, to relax, and, well, there's green for you to really look at. Then every time you stare at the screen, every time you stare at the, you know, you look at your books. So these are the place where you can really relax and enjoy, you know, looking at the plants. And then the same thing also if you are involved, and then you harvest it, you enjoy your harvest, you know, enjoy the fruit, yeah, that you so-called harvest. Yes. Okay, farming activity in school are very popular now, especially they want to promote about this intergenerational, you know, kind of activity. So, well, AIC really support, because they got this active aging center where there are elderly who are, normally they have the activity in the center, but they are looking forward for activity that is outside of the center. So, you know, the loneliness, that the one that is really, they find that they really don't like it, and they want something that they can get involved. So they work with the school. Yeah. So like for example, Fuchun Secondary School, they work with the Orange Valley nursing home, which is just a few blocks away from their school. So every time when there is like harvest, you know, activity, they'll invite the senior to come in, and then well, the senior really looking forward, you know, every 3 weeks, like when there's harvest, they come in, they harvest together, they do the packing, yeah, so they enjoy it. Likewise, you know, on the right side, you see the MGS, Methodist Girls School. Yeah, so they get the parent support group, they get the so-called, some of them, the granny are like they are old girls, you know, formerly they are from the school also. Then they also look forward for every activity that the school give them, whether it's like harvest day, or whether the day that they will come and then they germinate the seed together with the student or with the teacher. Yes. Okay, I'll show you a video about this MGS. Yeah. Okay, MGS, they, you know, they was like invited to participate at the Southbridge Christmas market last November. So, well, they pack a packet of vegetable at these 200 grams, and they sell it one packet at $4, and yet every single packet is sold out. Why? Because all these whatever that they collected is actually all the proceed will go to these underprivileged children in Singapore. So Singaporean on the whole, we are all we got a big heart, and when people know about this, well, they really come forward, and then they supported this sales itself. I think it was very encouraging to the teacher, to the student itself. Yeah. So, well, what I'm trying to say that these secondary 1 and 2 students, if they can really, you know, come together and to harvest and to really sell the vegetable, and all these quality, the standards are really market standard. The plants are no compromise. The plants itself are actually market standard size, and when the sales itself was like totally sold out, everybody was so encouraged. Yeah. Okay, so you see, community gardens are getting more and more popular. Well, if your place, you know, your constituency around you, you'll see people have community gardens, and then well, it's a good place where you get the so-called residents who have the same, you know, interest of doing farming. They come together, they do farming together, they share whatever knowledge they have, and then well, it's a good time that they come out, you know, to really have some sunlight and you know, have some friendship together. So, well, this is two pictures. I didn't show the very common one that you see, the community garden outdoor, but these are we call it the senior citizen corner. And yet this senior citizen corner in Ubi itself, they have this community garden that they have this a rack, a hydroponic planting rack that they plant the vegetable. And then, well, the elderly was quite really happy. They look forward after, the dinner, after their dinner, they come forward and then they so-called share about planting, they share about, or they learn, from each other about this farming using hydroponics from each other. And then on the left side, you can see that people do germinations together. Yeah, so these are small little things like, activity where you create very good engagement for your neighbors, yeah, or, your friends, like, come together and then you really hands-on. And these are the activity that we want to see more, right? Okay, holistic. Yeah, so farming itself can be very holistic also. So I was very encouraged because one of the teacher from a school just mentioned, say, hi, Mr. Joshua, was so encouraged because one of our student, yeah, he was like have these depressions and then have not been coming to school for quite a while. Yeah, but when they have this farm in the school at the rooftop farm, so one day he came and then he saw this, the planting rack, and when nobody was around, so he spent some time walking around, looking at the green, the vegetable, looking at it, and then he shared with the teacher, he said, I feel so good, feel so peaceful. And then I start talking to the plant, and then he was telling the teacher, say, please let me know any more activity that you all have, like, whether it's doing germination itself, or you do harvesting. I want to get involved. Yeah, and then from there he start coming back to the school again. And this is a very good life testimony, a good sharing that I think as a teacher, I also get very encouraged when I heard this from the teacher about what the students share. So yeah, so beside this, one of these testimony, so what we do plan also, we plan for this, we have our client, the Singapore Association for the Mental Health. So they also get one rack, and then they start to help, their so-called, their client itself. Yeah, so when they come here, they start to do some, we teach them about farming, so equip them so that when they are better, whether they can, go back to the working society, whether it's in an indoor farm or a farming, background. With his farming background, he can go to this area to look for a job. Yeah, so these are picture where they plant their herbs. So on the left side, you can see those herbs like, spearmint, basil, rosemary. These are planted, by them, and then they harvest it, and then they do mocktail. So, it's really have fun planting it, and then know how to use the applications of using it. Yeah, so it was really fun and really enjoyable. Yeah. Okay, so this picture where you can see, right? So MIJ, my inspiring journey. So it's a special needs school in Changi Road itself. Yeah. So the center one is, you see, well, their clients, so-called, the students who are in this school in yellow. So the trainer have to teach them how to do germinations, how to harvest, how to cut, how to pack the vegetable. And it's very encouraging to see that, they come together, they work together, and then the joy, of like packing it and then to sell it, yeah, to collect some seedling money. Yes. So on the right side, you can see is a Sandrew Autism Center. Yeah, so these four are the trainer. So we have the so-called train the trainer program. So we train the trainer will teach, I mean, they are the one who know their client very well, and then they will teach the client how to do basic farming. And then, you know, you see these are all the harvest, yeah, that they harvested. Yeah, very encouraging. Yes. Okay, I'll show you a video. Same. So if a special school, right, a special needs school, yeah, the student and the teacher, they together, they can work together and pack these vegetable. Yes. So we also can. Yes. Okay, so yeah, you see the amount of vegetable that they so-called harvested from 2 rack itself. So it was very encouraging. Yeah. So, well, you saw the slides from earlier on where we do outdoor, we do indoor. So there are different people who have different kind of like, you know, so-called what they prefer. Yeah, some might say that yes, I want to do outdoor. Well, outdoor is good because outdoor you save a lot more on the electricity bill, where you don't have to turn on the light, you know, the LED light for the plant to grow. But outdoor itself, you have to really pray for good weather. You hope that every day you got good sunny day so that your plant will grow well. But for indoor itself, yes, you have to pay some money for the electricity bill. But of course, then you are always got very constant kind of like, you know, harvest that you have. You don't have to worry that the weather is no good and then you don't have vegetable to harvest. Yes. So, well, there is a different group of people got different preference. So likewise for the school, some school, well, they got better budget, they'll say yes, we do indoor farming. Their school say no, you want the kids really experience outdoor. That is the nature way of like, you know, farming. Yeah. So, well, this I leave it to everybody, but what I'm trying to say that whether it's indoor or outdoor, farming is actually is really easy. Yeah, it's don't really have this you know, thinking of like, well, I don't have green finger, farming is not for me. Well, if you try, if you really have the patience, I would say that, well, everybody can. You also can do it. Yes. Okay, so like, you know, religious group itself. So like, for example, this church, that's my church. Okay, so we at the rooftop, is the space is like, you know, underutilized, nobody go up there. Then why not we put on the rack and then we start planting. And then it's also very good, the members of the church, you know, people who are willing to come to help to do farming. So we plant and then, yeah, they sell to the member, they get the money for the seedling, get the money to buy the nutrients, and then they also pack and then they give it to the neighbor. Yes. So on the whole, I would say that farming itself is really enjoyable, right? residential, yes, people are start to do farming at home. So on the left side, yes, it's an outdoor rack. Well, you know, this person think that, well, outside my he stay in a terrace house, and then, you know, outside my so-called my bedroom, I got this rooftop balcony. Then if I can put a rack, then why not? And she was very happy because she said that every time she harvests, of course, for her family itself, you know, husband and wife with 2 kids with the domestic helper, the harvest is really too much for them for their own consumption. So actually, every time harvest, they'll call their siblings, they'll call their friends, say, you know, it's harvest day, please come and collect vegetable. And it become a activity that people look forward, a day that, you know, people really happy. So this also become, you know, you create your bonding. Yeah, so people look forward, and then it become closer, you know. Yeah, so on the left side, yes, is another family. Yes, of course, it's in the hall itself. So, well, she find that I don't have the aircon for my plant, and then I worried that the plant itself, you know, might be overheated if I on the lights, you know, for the 10-12 hours. So what she did is she put, you know, 2 standing fan at the side. Yeah, so, well, it really disperse the heat threat that on the vegetable itself, and then the vegetable really, you know, grow happily. You can see they are all very healthy. Yeah. Okay, so, well, another place that cafe and restaurant, yeah, so it's getting more and more popular. Yes, so this is a place where people also feel good. If you go to a place for your meal, and then you see the so-called the chef, you know, go and harvest in front of you, and then after that they serve it to you, you feel good because it's so fresh. It's like, you know, from the rack, from the farm to the table kind of practice. Yeah, so like for these mental health associations of Singapore, they have one rack, and what they do is they plant basil, they plant lettuce. Yeah, so they harvest, yeah, for their this spaghetti that they serve, you know, and then this customer, they feel good about it, and they also, you know, become a topic that people talk about it also. So people, you know, there's a lot of interaction. They ask them about, you know, how long you plant this vegetable, it tastes good, you know, that kind of thing. So these are, I want to say that farming itself, it create a lot of many other opportunity that people go for, you know, a meal, it become open up, and then there's a lot of interaction, and it's very good for the so-called the client that is working there. So it also helps them to really open up also, so they are not so shy, you know. Yeah, so that's a very healthy way of looking at it. Yeah, car park rooftop, yeah, it's getting very popular now. Yes, so in the past we say that yes, a lot of rooftop are, you know, not underutilized, it's not been using. Then after people explore, and then it was like open up and getting more and more popular. So car park rooftop is a good place to plant because, well, good thing is you're above, and then there's no other so-called vegetations that is around. So a lot of other, like for example, we say a community garden, you know, at one corner of the so-called the park, one corner of the HDB area, you can always have a community garden. But because surrounding there's a lot of other ornamental plants, there's a lot of bushes around. So these are the place that there's a lot of pests that is hidden inside. So, well, it's not as ideal as a rooftop for you to do farming because there's all concrete around, and there's a place that you got the least pests. But of course, we'll still do the netting, we cover it up, to make sure that no any of these pests that come and really, you know, chew out your vegetable. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. Yep. Bye-bye. I will pass this mic to the second speaker, which is Joe. Joe will be talking to you about the Internet of Things. Joe is very experienced. We have been collaborate together, been working together for the past few years. So, well, we set up for school. There are schools who use this IoT itself to really monitor the plant growth. And I think very good, encouraging to really hear what Joe going to share again. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joshua, for a good introduction of me. So, okay, hi all, and good evening. I'm Mr. Joe Yang. I'm the lecturer from School of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Singapore Polytechnics. Today, my topic is about Internet of Things, IoT, and how IoT can help automate the farming process easy and convenient. As Joshua mentioned earlier, that farming need a lot of hard work and patience. But let's say if you have, like example, like if you have some technologies, like we believe that we can help you to like example automate certain tasks or certain boring tasks, okay, so that you have more fun with farming. Okay, so without further ado, okay, let's bring you to my today contents. Okay, so first I'll share you about what is Internet of Things, IoT, and how important is IoT, and 8 C's of typical IoT applications, and I give you how IoT can be adopted in the farming scenarios, and also share with you more about types of farming in Singapore, just elaborate more. Okay, and last but not least, okay, I'll share with you how IoT can automate the routine or boring farming processes. Okay, on the right hand side, you can see the picture that SP has built. Farming solutions together with Singapore Indoor Farms. Okay, let's get started with Internet of Things. So, what is IoT? So, IoT is the internet workings of physical devices. Could be vehicles, could be buildings, and could be other items embedded with electronic stuff, software, of course, sensors, actuators, and network connectivities that allow us to share those objects to collect and exchange data. Okay, and also IoT can be illustrated as sensing capabilities enabled by IoT will drive developments of smart nation applications. It is from IMDA quotation. Okay, how about IoT evolutions? So since IoT is not new to us, so it has been evolved since 1875 all the way to today. And then it will be accelerating in exponential way. Okay, example, okay, in the past we use wired communications, but today we are going into a wireless. Okay, example, you can see from the graph since 2000s and forwards, the growth is very exponential because of the internet, mobile communications, Web 2.0, social webs, M2M. So all these have drive our usage or adoptions of IoTs in exponential way. So today there are around 5 billion of people are using IoT gadgets, okay, and about 500 million of places are connected, and there are 50 billion of IoT devices will be used in the future. So it's a very huge demands and adoptions. Okay, how important is IoT? And as you can see here, the growth will generate revenues for enterprises. Of course, I mean, IoT, you could see the growth rate in the media devices, smart grid for grid monitoring, connected vehicles. Today we're talking about autonomous vehicles, electric vehicles, and those are embedded with numerous types of IoT equipments and sensors, and lighting systems, asset tracking, and inventory management. So, and next, by 2030, there will be a 1.5 trillions of IoT revenues that come from many domains. Okay, so it can be from retails, administrative, electricities, and gases, and so on. So yes, IoT is growing in the very scary way. Okay, so yeah, there will be 66% of IoT services in coming years, and there will be a huge adoption of hardware, semicon devices, and memory chips. All will become into as IoT market demands. Okay, so let's look into the IoT applications. So we can see IoT application in today's consumer markets, the home applications, smart infrastructures for monitoring, gas, okay, electricity generations, monitoring, and so on, security and surveillance, transportations, healthcare, retails, and industries. And of course, you can find in many other domain areas with IoT. Okay, so to make our IoT simpler and easier to understand, so we come up with 60 a typical IoT application framework for you to understand and remember what IoT is included. Okay, so example, we have first C, we call it collect, and followed by second C, control. So we make use of the IoT sensors, like example, temperature, humidity sensor, pressure sensor, accelerometer, gyroscope. All these sensors, we can connect it to the microcontroller. And we can do some control applications, and we can generate or we can actuate some outputs. Okay, so this is first 2C, collect and control. And next, we need communications medium and protocols to connect to internet. So example, what type of communications? We can have Wi-Fi, we can have wired, we can have a cellular communication that we can connect to the internet. Okay, so internet is a fourth C here. And finally, all our data that come from the microcontroller sensors will be sent over to internet. So we need a storage place. So this storage place, it could be in the cloud space. So today we may heard about cloud, example, AWS, Google Cloud, Azure Clouds. Many other cloud services are available for users to store the data, and after that, user can make use of this data to digest it or make it comprehension. Okay, make it like more meaningful by using some analytics and throw in some AI. Okay, last but not least, all our IoT applications have to come out with applications. Okay, it could be mobile apps, it could be a desktop applications. Do take note, our last C will be IoT security, or we can call it cyber security. It's very important for every aspect of the C's over here. Because today, right, our IoT systems are going to cloud, internet. So security is very, very important, okay, to protect from every aspect, okay, so that your devices are in control by you. Okay. Okay, let me go into the IoT ecosystem in details. Since today our topic is about cultivating like urban farming, so I bring in some urban farming sensors and actuators devices. Okay, for farming, you may probably need pH sensors. So with me, I have a pH meter here. It could be in the forms of like example portable versions, or it could be embedded to the microcontrollers. Okay, I have an EC meter to detect the electroconductivity. So to check how much nutrients are inside the maybe in the water tank. Okay, we could also have a light intensive sensor to detect whether the lights are enough spectrums. We can detect from that. Humidity sensors, yes, in farming, humidity is very important. All the farms have to regulate the humidity around, like example, like 40 to 80 percentage of humidity. And CO2, of course, very important. For the plants to grow well, we need a very good CO2 level. So how to know how much CO2? We can make use of the CO2 sensors. Okay, we could also have a water level sensor to detect how much water has been used or water has been used up and no more. So we can use water level sensor to detect the level of the water usage. And we have timer sensor so that we can automate, like example, lighting, or we can automate the water pump, okay, to on off at regular time or certain interval. Of course, if you go with indoor farming, you will need artificial lights. We can make use of LED lights. Okay, and CO2 cylinder, if let's say maybe your showroom or your location don't have enough CO2, so you can pump in maybe a bit of CO2 and then you circulate, and then you can feed into the plants. Okay, so be careful when you use the CO2, so you don't indose the CO2, okay, if you are in the living space. Okay, and atomization foggers, okay, you may need that foggers sometimes. Pressure optimization nozzle, pressure pump, so you need some pressure pump to pump the water from maybe like water tank all the way to maybe a few meters if you're using hydroponics. And you may need a ventilation fan, as Joshua mentioned, right? If your space or your location has not enough air or airflow, you can add in some ventilation fan, okay, so that your plants have some breeze and air. Okay, and of course you can also add some air cooler to cool down the temperature. And also you can, if your place is too cold, you can also have inject some warm air also. Okay, so these are the sensors and actuators that usually we use in our farming. Okay, next, let me talk about IoT, like communications. So today, for our control systems, our microcontrollers, we can communicate through certain communication protocol, like example, Wi-Fi. If you want to go put your microcontroller device here, I have one Raspberry Pi. If you want to connect to internet, usually we can use Wi-Fi connections. Of course, you can add on some shields. Example, you can add in some 3G modems or 4G. Maybe today we have 5G modem. You can install it, and you can have make this IoT device to be maybe like cellular ready or Wi-Fi ready, and so that you can send the data from controller to the internet with ease. Okay, of course, don't forget today our IoT gadgets are also make use of Bluetooth. Those are low power, ZigBee, LoRa for long range, and Sigfox also for long range data transmission. And and those communications are like Bluetooth, ZigBee, LoRa, Sigfox. They can send the data over long distance, or maybe for Bluetooth is like maybe about 60-meter range with the low energy. But for the Wi-Fi and cellular, it may take slightly high energy. So you have to think about it, your usage. Sometimes you may need to use low power. You should go with the Bluetooth, ZigBee, LoRa, Sigfox. If you need high speed, high data bandwidth, you should go with Wi-Fi, 3G, 4G, and 5Gs. Okay, next we have a connect. Okay, our fourth C. So today our IoT networks can be formed using example Bluetooth with the Bluetooth modem. We can have a ZigBee networks with the ZigBee routers, and we can have a 6LoWPAN, which is 6 low power personal area networks. So you can have different types of networks. At the end, you have to go through the cellular networks through the ISP, the Internet Service Provider. From that, then you can send the data out to the internet. Okay, so next we have the cloud. Today we have a cloud services like from Amazon, Microsoft, Google, ThinkSpeak. So there are many service providers. OpenShift from Red Hat. So they provide the different types, 3 types of cloud services. It could be public cloud. So meaning that if you upload the data to the public cloud, anyone can access your data. But how about if you want to protect within your own premise or within your own organization? Yes, you can go with the cloud, but you can go to private cloud. That means only the authorized or within your organization can access this. Or sometimes you want some flexibility. You want to control some, but you want to expose some. So you can go with hybrid architectures. Some you protect using private cloud, and some you can use a public cloud too. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Today, our cloud providers will provide some data analytics tools and features that you can grab the data from those cloud data storages, and you can come up with some analytics trends charts. Example. And today there are some tools like example Power BI can make use of visualization. They can tap data from the maybe databases like MySQL or SQL or PostgreSQL. You can grab data, and then you can analyze, you can visualize, and you can do some predictions. Okay, and there are cloud services like IoT, IBM Watson's, also similar to Power BI. So you can grab data and you can make your data more meaningful. Yes, today we can't forget about AI. So today AIs are more and more intelligent. So today we can track on the grab data, and this AI can predict certain situation or scenarios. Okay, and last but not least, we have create. So creating, we have a mobile apps that we can create. Example, what type of mobile apps you can do it? Example, responsive web app. So that means example, you can create one types of responsive web so that your devices like mobile phones, PCs or tablet can be used in using the web browser based web browser. It could be hybrid. That means, like example, like sometimes you want to make use of the native mobile features from your mobile phones, and people will go with hybrid types of apps. Okay, so and followed by cross-platforms. If you want to go with deeper native features from your mobile devices, most people will go with cross-platforms. Okay, example, React Native, Flutter, those are the main programming platforms that people use it. Of course, if you want to fully utilize the mobile devices features, of course, you have to go with Java or Objective-C or Swift for Apple. So these are the different types of mobile apps that a user can create based on the needs. Of course, there are also today quite popular demands with low-code developments, because today application developments are very lengthy and need a lot of like domain knowledge. So why not we should go with low-code? Yes, there are low-code platform example from APN, Zoho, Microsoft Power Apps. Those are also very popular platforms to quick and easy develop mobile applications for enterprises, even for the big market. Okay, and also of course there are also some no-code platforms like user no need to do much of programming. User just need to drag and drop, and you can come out with a nice and quick and dirty maybe prototypes upon proof of concept using those platforms like AppyPie, AppSheets, Bubble, and so on. So yeah, today all these mobile services can be linked through certain API. API stands for Application Programming Interface, that can link to example like OpenAI, like example generative AI API services. It can link to database API, or maybe link to like our government data more. So through API we can connect. Today our mobile application can connect to multiple services for better applications. Okay, next let me talk about cybersecurity and how important is it. Okay, so after I go through 7C, the last C will be cybersecurity. Yes. So take note before you like purchase anything. Please take note, do a bit of research whether your devices are secure or it can be protected through certain means. Okay, example, you buy a laptop today, right? And you have to make sure that you have to protect using antivirus, or even your phones. You purchase a phone with maybe maybe expensive high-end phone, but don't forget to like spend on certain like antivirus software to protect your high value assets. Okay, of course, most importantly is your data also. Okay, today if you lost a phone, you can buy it back maybe, but if you lost the data, it will be gone. Of course, you need to do certain backup lah. Okay, next, you got to secure your device immediately after the purchase. But today you notice that once you purchase a mobile phone, mobile devices, or even a PC, our software vendors will ask you to like immediately like set the password or set the PIN code or set the maybe facial ID example. So this is a good practice that you have to secure it before after you purchase. Okay. Also, it's good practice to use a secure password, and recommended use more than 8 characters into a combination of alphanumerics, numbers, and some special characters to make your password stronger, so that it will be like difficult to get hacked. Okay, or yeah, today we can guarantee like example, things can be cracked or things can be hacked, but it's just that we have to protect ourselves. Okay, defend ourselves first. Okay, next, if you have mobile devices or your IoT devices have some firmware updates options, please regularly check the vendor site, or if there's any OTP services, do regular update the firmware, or do security patching. Okay, because today our malware attacks are like evolving, and they are also now getting smarter and smarter. So our devices have to be patched regularly. Okay, next, we got to disconnect our insecure IoT devices if they are not in use. So IoT is yes good, but if you forget to like secure them, if you sometimes you use it and you let it go, and then you never protect well, or if you don't know that you already use it but you forgotten about the devices, please do consider disconnect those devices if not in use. Okay, and turn off the IoT devices when not in use. Yeah, periodically check if whether they are turned on. Okay, it also can save power also. And protect your routers and Wi-Fi networks, because today our IoT devices, they may be using Wi-Fi routers, and some network switches. Yes, good to be protect them with a strong password or with some built-in firewalls solutions inside the routers. Even the Wi-Fi networks also, the SSID, got to protect with the strong passwords. Okay, sometimes if necessary, you can hide the SSID to protect from outsider to see your network. Okay, so next, you got to avoid the single point of failures. So when you want to implement IoT solutions, yes, okay, you shouldn't like example, everything depends on one single solutions, and then this system or solution fail or die. So if you don't do that, try to have some redundancy, some backup solution in your IoT solution system. Okay, and then pay attention to mobile device security. Today you can notice that most attacks probably come from mobile phones, because today mobile phones are very segmented. Some are securely patched and some mobile devices are not securely patched. So most attack can come from the mobile apps. It can be also spread out to the networks, through the mobiles. Okay, next, consider using antivirus and intrusion detection products. Example like email filters, spam filters in your devices, so that it can help you to protect when you don't get aware, when you are not aware of those things. And also good to protect. Example, if you have any like cameras, if you're not in use, you can close it up, or you can shield it with something, because today if once your system is compromised, the attackers can come to your system to open out certain devices. Be alert all this. And next, if you are not sure, always good to check with technical expert. Get technical assistance. Now let me go into the make use of 8Cs IoT and how we can build farming systems. So here you can see the first two C, collect and control. So we have a Raspberry Pi controller here. So you can see on the picture also on the center, Raspberry Pi main controller. So in SP we have built a customized shield that can plug in the different type of sensor. Example, you can see the CO2 sensor, carbon dioxide sensors. We have a light sensors. We have a pH sensor, EC sensor. All can be connected to our shields here. So you can. I want to show you here. This is my physical systems that we have built. So in fact, we have a Raspberry Pi with the IoT shields, which have temperature sensor, humidity sensor, CO2, and many others, just for to detect the anomalies of a farm. So in SP we have this IoT farm that we monitor temperature, humidity, CO2, and after that we also got the control. We control the pump and light systems here. So using this is a box that farming box that we use it for IoT implementations to automate the farming process. As you can see, we not only have controllers, we also have a AC socket here to power the pump and the lights, LED light system. Next, let's say example, if you don't want to have a so complicated IoT solution, you can buy those like example off-the-shelf sensor monitoring devices. On my hand, I have a Xiaomi temperature humidity sensors. So you can place it around your farms to detect what your temperature, humidity is. Alright. Next, to monitor the farming sensors, readings, and to monitor the pump light conditions, we also have this dashboard that utilize the no-red programming. So it's quite popular programming today for most industry applications. It's a drag and drop types of application. GUI means graphical user interface. So user can easily drag and drop the some logics. After they add them together, make it into a dashboard. Maybe within a half an hour. So after that we build the dashboard, and then this is a dashboard that you see here. And this dashboard can be put in the local computer, or it could be placed in the cloud. If in the cloud, of course we can do remote monitoring. If you do it in the local devices, you have to go to the nearby network to get the access of it. So our data are being sent over to the ThinkSpeed cloud platforms. So you may try out the ThinkSpeed cloud platform, which is free for limited usage. You can push the data out and you can remotely monitor your IoT data. So in these applications, I make use of this 8C here. So yes, every single aspect of the data, everything we have are protected with the security like encryptions of the communications, also protect with the user authentications, credentials. I can edit all these together. Okay. Yeah. So through these ThinkSpeak platforms, right, we also like collect data, and we also like do the alerting also. Example, if we set the alert, for example, if temperature is like too high, we trigger the emails alerts and also trigger the tweet alerts. Of course, today we can try Telegram alerts and WhatsApp alert. You can try many alerts. Okay. Okay, let me show you. There are a few projects that we done together with Singapore Indoor Farms. Okay, of course, we did some indoor farming solutions. You can see on the screen here. So we built a dashboard to monitor, remote control the light pump at a certain interval. Okay, and then we also built like solar power farming solutions. You can see here there's a solar panel that we power the outdoor farms here. Okay, we also do the indoor farms here, indoor farms. And we also, together with SIF, we built IoT, solar power IoT solutions for secondary schools over here. So you can see these are our projects that we work together with the Singapore Indoor Farms. Okay, with solar panels, of course, we can save energy, and then it can also save the running cost, okay, of electricity. Okay, next. How can we implement an IoT solution for urban farming? So let's have a look. Okay, today I have seen quite numbers of farming types. Okay, example, there are some traditional farms. Maybe you can find around Yio Chu Kang area. Okay, so when you see there are still people riding on the ground, and they still planting it traditional way. And there are also some they are trying on the rooftops and certain unused untapped locations. Okay, so now we are moving from traditional to urban farming because we feel that urban farming makes more sense. I mean, like in Singapore, okay, meaning we have small space, so we need to grow in the efficient way. Okay, of course, I mean, like people want to grow in the nice and clean weathers and space. Of course, they also can neglect the traditional farm, but traditional farm is good to be like upgrade them to be like urban farm types. Okay, for better growth and better yield, and also cleaner lah. Okay, so today I will show you some high-tech urban farming in controlled environments. As our early speaker mentioned that, okay, with these controlled environments, we can grow plants 24/7 or 365 days a year. Regardless of strong winds or heavy rains, we can grow wells in the controlled environments. Yeah. And today in Singapore also, we can see quite numbers of rooftops. They are trying out the farming, like outdoor farms, using some special equipments and tools and some setups over here. So you can see, this is one of a HDB rooftop, maybe multi-story car park rooftop. People have tried out. This is in the Sunan Kudut. Okay, there are 18 hectares of facility at Sunan Kudut, so they are trying to grow the veggies. Okay, and here there's 9 high-tech farms in Singapore awarded nearly 40 million to ramp up the food productions. So all these are together. We are trying to achieve the 20 by 30 goals for Singapore Green Plan. Okay, next. There are a few other examples. Okay, like example, we can make use of the maybe like automations to like spray some fertilizer or some pesticides. Example, so you can see on the pictures. And of course, we can also make use of robots to do the like routine harvesting. Example, so today our robotic arms can be programmed to harvest the plants. Okay, pluck the plants. Okay, and then place it into a storage place. Yeah. Of course, we can also remotely monitor the plants. You can see here robots on the bottom left. We have some camera attached to it, and then the users or owner or chief farmers can monitor the plants remotely, so that you don't have to go down all the way to the farm's areas. So you can remotely monitor and take the actions in a prompt manner. Okay, so my last part, I would like to share with you how IoTs can automate routine farming processes. Okay. So we have set up the IoT solutions in Singapore Indoor Farms. We regularly like monitor, we check, troubleshoots even remotely from SP. So we sometimes there's some issues faced with the controller or some issue faced with the system, we normally log into the system remotely, then we help them to help SIF troubleshoots. Okay, so our IoT system is on the right hand side here. You can see a few sensors. We have a carbon dioxide sensor in the red color, and we have temperature humidity sensor in the blue color, and IoT box is over there on the top of the farming racks. Okay, just a revisit. I mean, maybe from the viewers, you may know about farming, or you may be new to farming. Don't worry. Okay, let me revisit to some basic farming steps. You know, when you do farming, there are 4 growth phases. One of them may be seedings, getting seeds. After that, you do germinations. Okay, then after that, after germination, okay, you have to monitor. You have to like maintain, operate your farms to get the vegetative growth, and followed by the last but not least. Sometimes you may want to extract the seeds. So some people may wait until the production stage growth of the plants. So where IoT can be placed, of course, I mean IoT can be placed in every single phases. Example, for seedlings, so we can have some IoT sensor that can monitor the, I mean like we can like sort out the seeds using the IoT solutions. Okay, maybe germinations. Okay, we can do germination through IoT control, light control, maybe moisture control with IoT. Of course, vegetative growth, we can automate the farming routines, like example, monitoring of pH, monitoring of ECs, monitoring of others IoT's informations, so that our plants can grow in fast manners. Yeah, of course, in reproductions, we can also use IoT devices to like monitor when the plant's going to be like flowers. After that, when to collect the seeds and so on. So maybe we make use of camera, AI to like monitor the plant's growth. All these can be done with IoT. Yep. Okay, let's move into the simple indoor farm setup. Okay, yes, farming need patience and perseverance. Okay, so yep, if you are interested to do a farming, yes, what you need, let me explain to you. You need a farming rack, of course. Today you can go with either like example metal racks, or you can even go with some like a PVC, but must be food safe type of racks. So with these racks, you can set up maybe hydroponics or aeroponics. You can choose what types of farming method you want to use it. Okay, most common one probably could be hydroponics. Make use of water and some water-based nutrients to grow. Okay, next this A, you will need a rack. Okay, B, you need a timer to control the lights and water. Okay, for lights, if you are doing indoor, you don't need to give lights 24 hours. Okay, so later I explain to you about the lights, how much hours we need. Okay, how about water pump? So if you're going indoor, you don't have to, like example, run the water all the time. Maybe you can have some kind of like control limits, so you can like keep the water at a certain level. After that water level low, then you can generate the water pump again, so that it can save power, electricities. Yeah, because indoor, maybe if you're using some IoT control indoor environment, it may use up some electricity. So our main goal is to achieve the much lesser electricity power usage. Okay, next, for indoor, we have to rely on the artificial lights. Of course, outdoor you don't need to. So for artificial lights, okay, it depends on the plants that you want to grow, or the area that the growth area. So you have to decide for what type of LED to be used, and drivers and power usage you have to be decided. Water pump, we can either use the AC type or DC type. If you want more powerful, I recommend to go with AC. If you want, like example, I would say like if you want to save some energy, you may go with DC. Okay, yeah. So you need some piping or tubing. If you're the DIY personal, you can do yourself piping and tubing, and then you can connect the water systems. Okay, and then next you will need a water tank. So water tank, it could be in the form of like example like a full safe coated water tank, or it could be some forms of PVC that are full safe type also. Yeah. So normally water tank we put below, okay, so that we put the water pump in as well, and we pump the water. So what you see here, the system is an example of ebb and flow. So that means we pump the water all the way up, Okay, after that, the water will accumulate in the first, top row, top reservoir. After that, at certain level have reached, the water will be flowed down to the second level. Second top level. After that, again, it reached to the certain limits, it will go down to the third top rows. Okay, yeah, this is how the water has been circulated. Okay, next, of all the systems to generate, of course you need electrical power. So when you want to set up, it's good to be placed near to the electrical switches. Also take note, don't be so close, or make sure that your switches are not sitting on the ground, because sometimes your water may be flow over to the flooring. So if your switches are on the ground, it can get electric shock. So make sure that your switches are placed somewhere at high level. Yeah, of course also must be reachable to your power equipments. Yeah, so this is a typical farming system setup. Okay, once you have done the setup, okay, yes, light. Okay, so give you some background on how much the lights will be needed. Of course, for the light, if you want to grow outdoor farming, you will need a light of about 5 to 6 hours direct sunlight. Okay, or you need about 10 hours of bright light or indirect sunlight if you are going outdoors. But how about indoors? So indoors, we don't have the luxury of sunlight. So what we have to replace it using LED strips, LED lights. So in the market, okay, so how much lights you need? You need about 12 to 14 hours of bright artificial lights. Of course, after you turn on the light for 12 to 14 hours, you have to turn it off. If you don't turn off, your plants will be overeaten. Okay, so it will become a yellowish color, or sometimes it could be burn your leaf, too hot maybe. Okay, so you need to regulate the light, okay, on and off at a regular interval, recommended about 12 to 14 hours on and 10 to 12 hours of it. So you have to give plants to, of course you have to give plants to rest also lah. Okay, next, light durations and distance and intensity should be optimized to prevent leaf from burning. Yes. Okay, so let's say if you plan to grow a slightly taller plant, you have to adjust your racks distance, the height to be slightly high. Of course, if your rack's height is high, your LED light need to be high intensive. Okay, because the light need to be reached through the down. Okay, so yes, if your light intensity is too high and too hot, it may also burn the leaf. Okay, so you have to balance it. Okay, so you must know what plant you are growing, and then you have to, maybe you need to ask the expert how much light is needed, how much distance is needed. You may have to check with them. Okay, yeah. In the market, you can buy different types of lighting. Okay, the keywords that I normally use to buy is that they call it grow light. Okay, grow light means that the lights is tuned to this particular spectrum for growing certain veggies. Okay, so they call it grow light. And some lights, LED strips, okay, they got 5 volts, they have 12 volts. Okay, sometimes it could be 24 volts. Okay, depends. So 12 volts is quite common, and it's pretty bright. Okay, but take note, there are certain lights, they doesn't come with a heat sink, meaning that when the light shines, it will generate heat. It can make the veggies warm. Or else, if you buy those lights with the heat sink or heat spreader, it can minimize the heat spreading. Alright, of course, the LED light strip with the heat spreader will be slightly more expensive, to take note. Okay, after consideration for lights, let's go into the CO2, carbon dioxide. Yeah, you can grow the plants in the one contained space without any ventilation. Yes, CO2 is very important. Okay, so in contrast to human, okay, plants use CO2 to do some like food digestions. Okay, so in general, we need about 300 to 500 ppm, parts per millions, the units of CO2 levels to grow our vegetables indoor. Of course, outdoor, you can't control the CO2 level. Yeah, for indoor, yes, you can control. And of course, you have to monitor indoor as well. Okay, just give an example. Okay, we've tried to grow these particular racks. This is our real scenario. So we put this rack at one of the labs during the school holiday period, and we noticed that the plants didn't grow well, because we usually automate the whole solution and we close the lab. Okay, so what happened, we noticed that when the school reopened, when the students come in, we found that the plants will grow very fast. Because why? The student bring CO2. So when school reopen, the plants are very happy. They get CO2 and and then they grow faster and they grow bigger. That's what we notice. So the good level for CO2 is about 800 to 1002 ppm. Okay, so this is for more for like commercial crop growth. Okay, so for commercial, right? For commercial plantation, you need time is money, right? So if you the accelerate, the faster the growing, like the farmers can generate better profits margins, right? So okay, so of course, if let's say your environment, the CO2 level is too low, what you can do is that you can inject CO2 from CO2 tank. So of course, take note, CO2 is toxic to human. So try not to do it during the confined place, or maybe don't do it. Let's say if your plant is in the planting rack is in your sleeping room, okay, bedroom. Try not to inject CO2. Okay, the best way to regulate CO2 is that open the windows, or you can open your ventilations, or give some open the sun fan. You can also simulate CO2. Okay. Yeah, so today you can get off-the-shelf CO2 sensors, like example you can see for Honeywell, or you can buy those like IoT ready CO2 sensors. You can place it somewhere at your rack there, and you can monitor the CO2 level. Okay, yeah. Okay, next, temperature. Yeah, temperature play a very critical role in growing certain plants. Since hydroponics plants, okay, example that I give you, they are growing in water, temperature need to be monitored. What if temperature is too hot? Okay, I think our root will be maybe like heat up, and maybe can be warm. Okay, so the optimum optimum temperature is around 20 to 22 degrees Celsius. Okay, for hydroponic systems. Okay, so how to monitor the temperature of this water tank? Okay, please do not dip those non-waterproof into the water tank. No way. So you have to use those like aquarium thermometer. You have to dip in, and then you have to measure the water temperature. Today you can get some EC meter, and today our EC meter also come with the temperature reading. So what you do is that you just open the device, just dip into the water, certain level, and then you can monitor the temperature reading. This is an EC meter with temperatures. Okay. Okay, next, humidity. Of course, humidity must be well controlled between 40 to 80%. Okay, so if too humid, plants also will get like a bit of watery, too moist. Okay, if too dry, also no good. So you have to be maintained between 40 to 80. Okay, also it depends on the plant types. Yeah, so both temperature and humidities can be regulated by a good ventilation. Of course, you can open the fan. If you have any ventilation, please turn it on, or you can open the windows of your rooms. If there's any ventilation, let the outside air to come in. You can regulate your room temperatures and room humidity. Okay, if your room is too humid, you can get some dehumidifiers. Okay, or of course, if you have aircon, you can turn it on at certain degrees Celsius. Okay, take note, you need to save power also. So you don't make the whole room too cold. You consume the more power. Okay, next, let's think about getting a water pump. So yes, as I mentioned earlier, there are AC type and DC type. So AC means you can draw the direct alternating current from the socket, and then you can pump to the water pump. Yes, they are very strong. Of course, take note about the noise level also. They are maybe a bit noisy. So I mean, if you put near to your bed, you can hear some sound of the water pump. Okay, so if you go with DC pump, yes, they draw less power and they are a bit silent. Okay, but less strength lah. But if your racks is too tall, suggest to go with AC pump. For today, you can buy those variable types of AC. Variable mean like you can adjust the flow. Okay, example, you want to be flow too strong or like less strength by adjusting some variable knot, and you can adjust the speed. Okay, so by adjusting it, you can also lower down the noise level. Okay, so you can, so how much water pump you need? Okay, for this example, for this track, we usually give about 30 minutes a water pump to pump, and then after that we rest for maybe about another 30 minutes so that the water will be drained down through using the gravities. Okay, so this is ebb and flow systems. Okay, yeah. Okay, the future of IoTs. It's here. Okay, so as you know that as a farming need patient and farming need to monitor a lot of parameters, a lot of things. Okay, so how can we like automate, and how can we like make like example use less manpower yet we can grow veggies. So yes, today our future is that okay, we can make use of the drone, so the drone can like spray some like fertilizer or nutrients to the plants. Of course, we can make use of IoT to monitor some swells or weather example, so that it can also prevent certain like example weather damage or some kind of like abnormalities. Okay, so also today we can make use of AI to detect the plants, like example plants anomalies, like or even is yellowish or the plants grow at certain level. So on the setup over here, we make use of AI. We have some camera that we point to the plants to monitor the plants growth at certain time. If the plants doesn't grow by certain period, the AI will alert to the users to make some actions. Okay. So let me explain to you this dashboard. Okay. So right, this is a smart dashboard that implemented by Singapore Poly. So this dashboard allow us to like control and automate the water and the pump. Okay. So okay, on my mobile phones, okay, I have a live monitoring dashboard over here. So I'm using web dashboard. So from there, I can monitor the temperature, humidity, and I can also monitor the flow reading. So now, okay, the farm is just next to me. So now the farm is very no noise because there is no water flowing. So I can monitor the water flow using here. And next, I can monitor the CO2 level and lighting, whether the lights is on or not. Okay. So I can also see the past CO2 level. So in my room, I have about CO2 about maximum 600 plus. Okay, and current CO2 is about 485. So okay, yeah, so this is the optimal level for this I mean like the webinar space. Yeah, so this is the IoT dashboards. So this dashboard I can also like open it from my home because it's a web based. So I can just type in the IP address, I type in the credential, username, password, authenticate it, I can monitor it. Yeah. Okay, so okay, this is our IoT dashboards. I mean the IoT box. So we have a ventilation for the systems, cooling system, and we have a sensor connectors here that connect to our various sensor. There's also a small little camera here to detect the plants, whether they are in the green or they are in yellowish. We can also detect, and we do also put in the pH meter here. Okay, so to monitor the pH levels, okay, of the water. Okay, so let's talk about pH and EC. So pH is very important. Example, if your water tank, if your pH level is go below, like example 4, pH 4, right, it will be very acidic. So what you need to do is that you will have to put in some baking soda, or you have to make your water more alkaline. So this is pH is very important. If your water is too alkaline, also your plants cannot grow. So it's good to be maintained between like 5 to 7. Of course, internet you may find certain specs that how much pH is good. You can go and find it out based on different types of veggies and plants. How about EC? EC, electroconductivities. Yes, EC will help the farmers and user to measure how much nutrient is added to the water tank. So let's say I have one example with one experience with one project experience. Okay, we found that the customer side, the plants are not growing so well, and we noticed we brought in the EC meter and we went and tip it out. What happened that the customer didn't put in the nutrients inside. This is how we notice it. So after that we suggest that to our customers to put in some nutrients. After a while, a week later, the plants grow like very well. Okay, so yes, EC will affect the growth, or I mean like the nutrients will affect the growth of the plant, because hydroponics, it depends on the water and the nutrients. Yeah. How about, let's say, if you add too much nutrient inside the water tank, is it good? No. If you put too much of EC, yes, EC will create some electrics. I mean like they give you some like acidity. So it will create, if you put too much nutrient, your water will be a bit more acidic. Okay, it can burn the root. Okay, once you burn the root, the plants will suffer, and then they will slow down the growth. Yeah, so EC is very important to monitor. Yeah, so of course this is the manual EC meter. You have to manually go and dip it out. So in our this IoT solutions, we also have a EC meter dip into the water, and we use a microcontroller to sense it out at certain regular interval. If your EC level is low, we inform the farmers or owners to look into the water. Okay, yeah. All right. So what are the benefits? So let me wrap up. Okay, so today I have discussed about the IoT and 8C IoT. So if we integrate, or if we apply this IoT into our farming, so what can we benefit it from? Okay, so again, in today our farm's process can be done in either indoor or outdoor. So our IoT can help to sense, okay, the environmental data, temperature, humidity, CO2, and lights sensitivity. All this we can be combined. We can monitor them. Okay. After that, if the data reach to certain threshold level, our IoT system can help and program to alert and notify to the farmers for the quick actions, so that today in the farm, if your reaction is slow, what happen? Your whole plantation can be gone due to some, like example, some bad weather or certain condition is not met. Okay, so you can do a proactive and quick actions with these IoT solutions. Okay, but with web-based condition monitoring, you can monitor through your mobile devices. You can monitor through desktop applications. You can monitor through anything with web browser. You can monitor. These are the web-based. Okay, so today our web-based are very convenience. Okay, and we also come with the good security and remote control of system via a mobile device. Yes, we can also control the system, like as I showed you just now. I can monitor, I can control like lights, pumps through the mobile systems. Yes, it can help me to automate my farming solutions, okay, without needing to go and check the system often. So it really helps to save the manpower and utilizations also. All right. Okay, now it comes to my end of my topic. So I want to invite back Tiong Kui to give you more about our related courses and future explorations.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this insightful webinar. Okay, I would like to express our gratitude to each speaker for sharing their knowledge and insights. As we wrap up today's session, I want to draw your attention to the exciting opportunities that awaits you at Singapore Polytechnic. Okay, we strongly believe in continuous learning, and to support your professional development, we actually offer a range of upskilling courses. Okay, these courses are designed to equip you with the latest skills and knowledge that are in demand in today's rapidly advancing technological world. Okay, furthermore, I encourage you to explore the numerous projects and internship opportunities available through our partnership with Technologies Hubs that's actually in the school of EEE. Okay, in conclusion, okay, thank you once again for being part of this webinar. Okay, we look forward to welcome you to the Singapore Polytechnic upskilling courses and connecting you with exciting projects. Okay, for those who have yet to register with us to get the pre and post reading material, you can take out your mobile phone now, okay, and scan the QR code to register, and we will send the necessary material to your registered email. I will pause here for a few seconds for you to do so. Okay, before we part, okay, our last webinar session will be on electric vehicle 101. It will be on the 4th March. So we hope to see you again. Thank you for your participation on our webinar session, and good evening to everyone.